Hey guys, Retro Gaming Maniac here, and in this episode of Games That I Own, I wanted to do a weird games theme. And this actually came from a request from one of my viewers. He wanted to see what weird games I have in my collection. Just weird, kind of out there games, or games that are just really different. And I've picked 5 games, and 2 of them are PS2 games and 3 are PS1 games. And these games, some of them are really good, some not so much, but they are just some weird ones that I have. So hope you enjoy this video. So first up is a PS2 game, and it's called Hurdy-Gurdy. So what Hurdy-Gurdy is, it's essentially a herding simulator, kind of like Pikmin in a way, I guess, for the PS2. And the cool thing about this game is the art style and the graphics has a very Pixar or Disney feel to it. Definitely good, like graphics wise. There are some slowdowns, but anyways, the game is basically a herding simulator. What you do is you have to herd these different kinds of creatures to different spots on the map, or get them to a destination. But it's got some puzzle elements to it as well, because not only are you being, hunted by this guy here, but you also have to consider that some of the creatures that you're herding, some of them can't jump, or some can't swim, or things like that. So you have to use different tools to get them to certain destinations and all that. But it's a very weird game. It's kind of a hidden gem, I think. It's actually a really good game, and it's one that I never really hear anybody talking about. But it is kind of a puzzle game. Like I said, you do have to herd these creatures depending on their abilities, different ways, and kind of just figure out how to navigate them to that destination. But definitely a cool game. It's made by Eidos Interactive. I think it came out in 2006. No, 2002. My bad. Here's the back of the cover. You can see that. It's actually a very cool game, and it has like its own kind of like feel to it. But it's definitely cool. Make sure you check it out. Hurdy-Gurdy. It's definitely a weird one. So next up on the list is another PS2 game, and this one is a pretty good game. I would say it's a little better. It's a little mediocre, but not too bad. And the reason this game is weird is just because it doesn't know what it wants to be, and that is Swashbucklers Blue vs. Gray. So what it is it's a pirate game, essentially set during or towards the end of the Civil War. Essentially, the South has basically, after losing, has went to being a pirate and like things like that. So it's really weird. I like the art on the front. It's really like fun looking and everything. But this game has RPG elements, like top-down RPG, item management, skill management. It has Sid Meier's Pirates, like open sea gameplay where you go around in your ship and you can fight other ships or go to different ports and kind of explore. And then it has like a Dynasty Warriors feel, where I don't know if you can see here. Yeah, where you can see here, where it's actually kind of bloody, but you can go around like a Dynasty Warriors style, just killing tons of crew members on the ship when you board their ship. And then at the end, when you kill all the crew members, you have to kill the captain, who acts as like a boss, right? And then when you get to the boss, you do this side-scrolling like fighting game, kind of like your typical fighting game. So it has a lot of different elements to it, or gameplay styles to it. It's a fun game. It doesn't take itself very seriously, and you can tell when you're playing it. There is also like I think you can actually box in this game as well. I think you can actually box in this game as well, so that's kind of funny. So this game is weird just because it has so many different gameplay styles to it. It doesn't really know what it wants to be, but it's definitely a weird one, and I would almost say a hidden gem because it's fun, and with all the different gameplay styles you get to play in it, and just the general story behind it, and the price, it's like $5. I would say it's a hidden gem on the PS2. So Swashbucklers Blue vs. Gray. Alright, so next game is a PS1 game that my friend and I used to play all the time when we were kids, and that is Boombots for the PS1. So Boombots, if you don't know what it is, it's a arena fighting game similar to Power Stone. You essentially choose your boom bot, which are these guys here. There's a lot of them. There's 15 boom bots, and it just shows some of the main characters here. Each one plays different. Each one has different moves, different abilities. They play completely different from each other, and it's fun to choose your boom bot. They each have their own personality, and it's just a very funny game. It's a very comedic game. It's just fun to choose your boom bot and fight your buddy or whatever in a different level. But one thing I really liked about this game was the CGI, or the cutscenes, are claymation. From what I can tell, it looks like claymation cutscenes, and they're just really funny to watch. There's a lot of comedy in this, and it's funny watching the claymation cutscenes between and watching the different characters. It would actually almost make a good TV show or something. I mean, it has a total 90s feel to it. But make sure you check this out. It's Boombots for the PS1. Alright, so next game on the list is a game that on paper sounds like it would work and would not be considered weird, but when you actually do play it, it's kind of a weird game, and that is Star Wars Demolition, which a lot of people haven't heard about this game. It's a game that I've actually featured on my channel a few times now, and what it is think Star Wars and Vigilante 8, and if you don't know what Vigilante 8 is, think Star Wars and Twisted Metal. It's here's some of the, I don't know if you can see it, here's some of the vehicles you can be. You can be like Boba Fett, you can be a snow speeder, you can be, what else we got? A battle tank, an AT-ST, a pod racer. So you can be like a pod racer fighting an AT-ST. It's really funny. The game on paper, like I said, makes sense. You know, it's a Star Wars vehicular combat game. When you play it, it's just really weird. And it does have 2-player mode. I think there's a Dreamcast version that may have 4-player mode. I'm not sure. The graphics are not that great. I don't know if you can see. I mean, they're okay, but there's a lot of slowdown and everything's really choppy. But it is a very different game. The fact that you can be in a pod racer and fighting an AT-ST and getting like different weapon attachments and just shooting them and whatnot, or you can be on you can even be a Rancor, literally a Rancor, and run around and kill people that's on a snow speeder. It's kind of crazy. But if you want a weird kind of out there Star Wars game, make sure you check this one out. It's Star Wars Demolition. Alright, so next game on the list is probably the weirdest game I have in my collection, so I saved it for last. But that game is Incredible Crisis. I don't know if you can see that. There we go. So Incredible Crisis is, it's a series of mini games essentially, almost like Mario Party in a way. But you play as this guy here. You can see, plays this guy right here, and essentially all this bad stuff keeps happening to him, and you just have to play through each mini game, each scenario, whatever happens to him. And at one point, you're being chased by a giant globe that's rolling towards you in an office building. You have to outrun it. Another point, you're having a dance party in the office, and you have to, like, match up, press up when it says up, kind of like Papa Rapper the Rapper. Another part, you're in an ambulance, and eventually you fall out of the ambulance on the stretcher, and you're going down the interstate, and you gotta like dodge cars and jump over stuff. It's really funny. It's very crazy. Has a very Japanese feel to it. It's totally, you can tell it's totally a Japanese game. Only they could create something like this. But it's actually really fun, and it would make a good party game because it is so crazy and so out there that you could just, try a mini game, and if you fail, pass it to a friend and let them try. It is single player, but let's see, it's got 24 mini games, music by Tokyo Ska Paradise Orchestra. It says it's one of the funniest things you ever put into your PlayStation. I have to agree. It is a very funny game, lots of mini games, and I would say it's a hidden gem as well. I don't know if a lot of people know about this game, but definitely check it out. It is called Incredible Crisis. But anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed that video. It's just 5 games I have in my collection that are kind of weird or strange games. Not only the titles, but also the gameplay and everything. But most of these are actually pretty decent games. Incredible Crisis is great. Star Wars Demolition is just fun to mess around with some friends. It is fun being like a pod racer and fighting a Rancor. It makes no sense. Boombots is a lot of fun. A good game similar to Power Stone. Swashbucklers, try it, it's not bad. one-player game. And Hurdy-Gurdy is pretty cool and definitely one worth checking out. It's a very different game and it has a nice like Disney feel to it, but not in a bad way, if that makes sense. But I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that like button and go ahead and subscribe. And if you do subscribe, hit the notification button. But thank you guys for watching, and hopefully we'll see you on the next one.